Digital Romance TV.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Digital Romance TV. I am your host, Allana Pratt, intimacy expert, relationship coach, and so thrilled with your questions that keep coming through and the relationship that we are deepening together, because I'm all about intimacy and I love it. All right, this is your question. Do I have any great stories about finding love? What a stunning question, because sometimes we don't believe in love. We just get burned so many times. And everybody else seems to be happy, or everybody else seems to have somebody, but they certainly don't want a relationship, or we don't want a relationship like they have, right? We really question, is love really possible? And is love really possible for me? And yes, it absolutely is. I've coached for 17 years now, and I just went through some of my more recent clients over the last year or two, and I remember Paul and just down the road in Pasadena found love after working together, and Glenn in Nevada went through a really difficult time with one woman, and then that completed, and then this other amazing woman showed up, and he was willing to keep his heart open and keep going. Steve in Quebec found someone, Frank in Alabama found someone, and even marriages I've helped to rekindle. So it's like finding love again when you think it's gone in a relationship, from Canada to California to Georgia. And also sometimes love isn't initially found. I've helped people, divorce, consciously uncouple, and then find the passion that they've always known was possible after the healing from a divorce. And I even have one client too, finding love again after the death of their spouse. We really doubt, will I ever find that kind of special love again? I didn't want them to die. I didn't get a divorce, right? And being open to that, it's absolutely possible. So I wanted just to tell you a few success stories to warm your heart. So one client, Gina, she hot, great woman, and yet a pattern of dating unavailable men, or dating someone and it just didn't work out. They were just not committed. And we did some work, and she has found somebody who they've moved in together. They're talking life partnership. I'm not sure if they're ever going to quote unquote get married, but they're super happy. And I remember the day she said, the very first whatever date they had, and he took her face in his hands and kissed her, and then he left. And she was like, what? Yeah, what? It was just a sensuality and an intimacy that she'd never experienced before. And I say it was because she did that inner work. And then it was mirrored on the outside. Bob, and not old, but older gentleman, been through cancer, met somebody who also had been through cancer. And they had such an understanding of the journey of cancer. And am I going to live? And they savor every moment they have together. And it is so beautiful and inspiring. Jen, she was a client that came to me. She'd been divorced. She'd moved back in with her mother. She just wasn't dating available men. And we did the inner work. And I think they've been dating now over a year and a half. She's met somebody fabulous who's really, really good to her. And it's totally possible. Who else? Two more. Louise, beautiful, successful, powerful single mom. Again, unavailable men in other relationships that wanted to be with her, but she was not going to do that. And again, that inner work, and it really, I'll say at the end what it really comes down to, but she did the work, and she is madly in love with someone who is just madly in love with her. She's up in Canada, and she's happy, and she's so deserving of it. And lastly, who I wanted to mention, David, he also has a show, I think it's called Feminar.com or .org or .something or other, if you want to, in LA, if you're in LA and want to go see it. It's in August. It's a show, and it's about his 250 dates that never went to second dates. And we did some very deep work together. And I believe I'm one of the powerful pieces of his journey, because he's now been with somebody for, again, over a year, I'm sure, and happy and connected. And so what it really comes down to, your question, do I have any great stories about finding love? It's about finding love with us. It just is. I wish there was that quick fix. I wish you didn't have to do the work, but it's just not true. When you do that inner work and you're willing to live again, you're willing to risk, You're willing to live so fully that it's worth failing, because even if you quote unquote fail or miss the mark or fall down or whatever, you've still got your own back. You're still so proud of who you are. You still know that no matter what, you are worthy of love, you belong, and that you matter. Finding love with ourself first allows for all these other relationships to start flourishing on the outside. And I know everybody says that, you got to love yourself first, but it's true. And the deep work that I get to do with people, really coming to that place of home with themselves, with God, with the universe, etc. You bring that sense of home. When you meet people, they're like, what is it about her? She's got that it thing. Or, ooh, what is it about him? I just feel so safe with him. Or, what is it, when you walk in a room and turn heads? What is it, that thing? That's it. The self-love. I swear it is. And you become magnetic. And you actually get to choose who you want to be with. Not that you need to have many to choose from. You really just need the one for you now, which starts with you, yourself now, and then moves on to this wonderful person that shows up because you're willing to show up. So a couple things, two last things. One, if you're looking for that inner work, I work privately with a lot of people. I'm not cheap, I will say that, but I'm worth it. People have done years of therapy, and then within a few sessions with me, everything's good. So that's why I'm efficient. But I also have another way to work with me. If you're a woman, redefiningsexuality.com is my women's membership. Very inexpensive, 2 group calls a month plus tons of content. Over time, it does the job. And for gentlemen, gethertosayyes.com/say yes, say yes, say yes. Actually, it's just one time say yes, but anyways, I'm just saying it for effect. An amazing men's membership. The guys on there are just like creme de la creme de la creme. And they do the work, and they show up, 2 times a month, and they, look at all the content, and they get results. They're amazing men. So those are 2 ways for you to inexpensively work with me so that you can find the one with yourself and then find the one out there. And then lastly, I wanted to say, listen to some music and dance. I just went to Michael Franti the other night at the Greek Theater in LA with my son. Oh, my son got pulled up on stage with Michael Franti and 2 other little girls. And he was on the big screen smiling and dancing, and I was crying, and I'm like, ah! Anyways, I love Michael Franti, and there's this song, One Step Closer to You. Almost every time I listen to it, I cry, because I haven't, quote unquote, found the one or my next life partner for the next phase of my life yet either. And I get that some days are lonely, and some days you don't want to believe in love. But damn it, listen to this song, because it brings me up every time. And keep going, one step closer. I swear you are. And if I could hold your hand on that journey or slap your ass, not literally, just figuratively, I would love to. More about me is at allanapratt.com. And thank you always to Digital Romance TV for the honor of being able to give you these videos. And thank you for your questions. Keep them coming. I love you to pieces.
If you've got a cell phone in your pocket or purse right now, then you've got everything you need to create incredible romance and passion with the man or woman in your life at the push of a button. Go to digitalromance.tv/TRB to see Michael Fiore make an entire audience of women in the Rachel Ray Show swoon and learn how to use tiny little text messages to have the relationship of your dreams.